Okay, so today I am going to tier rank and review every single Game of Thrones character. I didn't make this tier list, thankfully. I didn't have to go through that horrid process. Some poor soul on Tier Maker already had one made, and I didn't confirm that it's every single character, but I think it is. I did count them. It's 116 on this tier list. So if I don't hit every single one, I am ranking 116 and talking about 116 characters. And I Googled it, and the number I got on Google was 105. So I know that that's at least wrong on Google because there's 116 on this. I think this sort of, and then I also got numbers like over 2,000 that are named, but I think this is going to refer to more um, every main character, everyone with like a speaking role. I am a huge fan of Game of Thrones. I hated the last season, and it kind of killed my love for the whole franchise. But before season 8, it was my favorite thing in the whole world. Like, I loved it. And it broke my heart to see such a bad season. It just ruined it for me. But the new book's going to come out eventually, and I'm going to read that. I have read all the other books, seen every episode of the show, huge fan, read all the lore books. I am the Game of Thrones guy. I just love this show so much. That being said, I was looking at some of these names, some of these pictures, and I'm like, who the frick is that? I forgot. So even the most diehard fans forget things. Whenever I'm ranking, I'm going to take into consideration not only the show, but the books and sort of combine that. Take a look at their whole arc, how their arc ended, where they ended up. If I liked them, if they were just a good character, like I'm not going to put Joffrey at the bottom tier just because I hated him. He was a great character. I was supposed to hate him. I'm going to consider all of these things, and I'm going to consider the acting from the show. Like everything is going to factor in the books, the show, everything, until I can get a nice solid ranking. Now, this might change when the new books come out, if they ever do come out. Please, George, I'm begging you. Let's get into it, because it's going to be a long night. So, full screen, got this here. I'll leave the link to this tier below. Thank you, whoever made this. I really appreciate it. So, let's just jump into it. It's in alphabetical order. So I have a don't even remember tab right here. Hopefully there won't be too many of those, though. So first we have Ares. King Ares, the Mad King. I guess I'm just going to put him in the C tier. We don't know much about him. We just know he's the Mad King. If you read the lore books, you do find out some more about him. But nothing, he's just the Mad King. He's very important. He started the whole thing. Kind of want to put him in B tier just because of the importance. But it's not like we see him ever to get if he's a great character. But just from importance, I guess I'll put him in B tier. Then we have Thorn, Alistair Thorn. He was a good heel for Jon, but not always. I'm gonna put him in D tier because he wasn't always consistent with his character. Sometimes he was like, "I respect you, Jon. The wall's yours," or sometimes he just hated him to kill him. It was just a jerk, and you can't really see his motivations. Just ignorant and kind of stupid. I sort of understand his motivations, but a lot of the times it was just like it bothered me because like, oh, you're just being stupid. So I'm gonna drop him right there in the D tier. Then we have Arya, and I think S tier is not S plus, not quite S plus, because that's gonna make people mad. People love Arya. She's one of the better characters in both the show and the books. Of course, she's a POV character in the books, which gives her a big bump. Super awesome, badass assassin. Really lovable, really enduring. Has one of the more interesting stories. Going to Essos, training with the assassins and growing into this really awesome character in the final seasons, coming back to Westeros and just slaying people. I hated that she killed the Ice King, but I guess we got to take that into consideration. She did kill him, so that was pretty cool. But some of that just kind of keeps it down for me. You know what? I might put her in S plus. I think I'm gonna put her in S plus because she was one of the few characters whose arc wasn't completely ruined by that final season. Everything by the end of it, she was at a place that I liked. She never did anything out of character, I think she's the only character whose arc wasn't ruined. So I'm putting her in S plus just because of that. Because the entire show, the entire book, she was just top tier. Wasn't ruined. Everything was consistent. Super awesome, compelling to watch. Great acting from Macy Williams, one of my favorite actresses now, just because of that role. Really fun, endearing, lovable character, and does one of the most awesome moments whenever she takes out everyone at the Twins. That was amazing. So Arya, S tier, consistent all the way through. Then we have uh, Balon Greyjoy. I think his name is Balon. It's Theon's father. I think I'm gonna put him right next to Alistair. You know, he wasn't Alistair. His name is Alistair, right? I don't Thorn. I think his name's Thorn. Um, he wasn't, you know, a super interesting villain. He didn't do much. He was kind of a joke, but I guess that was kind of the point. Um, just a jerk and stupid and ignorant, not really compelling because he was just dumb and annoying, but it worked. It's fine. It's exactly what you were going for. Being in the D tier in this place is not necessarily a bad thing. F tier is just like you're just not a good character. You shouldn't even be here. Um, Great relationship with I wanted to call her Asha, but she's Ara in the show. Asha in the books. Great dynamic with her. I don't really have much more to say about him, which is why I just got to drop him in the D tier. Uh, then we have the king of the Kingsguard, one of the most awesome knights in the entire show. Uh, Whitebeard. And now I'm hating myself because I can't think of his name, and it's making me really, really mad. But I'm dropping him in the A tier at least for now because he was never a main character, but he was always there being super, super awesome. One of the best swordsmen in the entire show and super interesting to watch. I am so mad at myself for not being able to think of his name right now. I feel like his name was Whitebeard. Barristan Selmy. It's Barristan Selmy. What was his nickname? How do I not know his nickname? Barristan the Bold. Oh, he was called Whitebeard. I was thinking Whitebeard because in the books he first showed up as Whitebeard. Right. Barristan the Bold, Barristan Selmy. One of the most badass, cool characters. Has some of the best moments in the whole show, but his death in the show sucked. And that keeps him out of the S tier. And what keeps him out of the S tier and the S plus tier is he was never a POV character. Uh, Never a main character, but that's fine. He played his role tremendously and was always there to support Daenerys in a really cool way, provided lots of cool lore and insight. And if you look at the lore of the books, the things he did were so cool, like when he had to sneak into the castle to rescue the king and all that cool stuff, Barris and the Bull, building this legend and so much to say the in the book for all the Kingsguard. His legends get written. Jaime looks up to him. I love Game of Thrones' lore around like the best swordsman. Like the debate is like who's the best swordsman in Westeros, and there's no doubt in my mind like Barristan the Bold. That's it. He's the one. Amazing acting. Just what a great character. One of my favorite characters. So awesome. I'd love a prequel show just about him. That would be the best show. I would watch that. So then we have Benjen Stark, Ned's brother, Ned's younger brother, really close with Lyanna. Probably one of the only few people who also knew the secret. I'm gonna put him in C tier, I think, just because we don't know a whole lot about him. I think someone said like in the show he's definitely not cold hands, but he's definitely cold hands. He's not around for very long, but he's very lovable. And what you hear about him, about his relationship with Lyanna and all that stuff, and with Ned, it makes him lovable and endearing. And I wish we would have saw more of him. I know John loved him, but we didn't see enough of him to put me higher than C tier. Then, ooh, one of my other favorite character, Beric Dondarrion. I'm gonna put him right next to Barristan the Bold. Not quite as good as Barristan the Bold, but right next to him. Such a freaking awesome character. Such a not a great fighter, but like obviously because he died so much, but still up there just one of the more entertaining fighters. What a cool look, what a great acting, what a cool story. Leading the Brotherhood without banners. One of the best characters to watch. I was always so compelled to watch him. Just one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites. What a cool guy. Uh, then by the way, I could speak so much more about all these characters, but there's just so many that I just want to keep her going, right? Then we have the Blackfish. The Blackfish is a really cool character. I think I'm gonna put him in B tier because we just don't see a whole lot of him. But what we do know about him is really, really awesome. Has some of the great moments in the show. Really close with Catelyn. Catelyn obviously loves him very much. Is really cool, Tully, and has some of the cooler endings to his character. I think both in the books and the show he doesn't die, or does he die? I think he dies in the show, but in the books I think he gets away and is sort of off doing whatever. I think in the books he gets away, in the show he doesn't. I think he dies, but really, really just cool character that he is. Not much more to say about that. All right, then we have Three-Eyed Raven. Really important to the show, but as a character himself, like in the show they kind of mess it up. They don't really ever confirm if that is uh, Blood Raven. But if it is, okay, we're taking into account that it's the books, and if it is, I'm gonna put him in the B tier also, just assuming that that is the Hand of the King that was so awesome and uh, had eyes everywhere and was a great Hand of the King. Shows up in the Dunk and Egg series. Assuming that it's that, I'll put him in B tier just because of how awesome of a character he is. But we don't see a whole lot of him, and he's really important, factoring in with Bran's powers and everything like that. Then we have King Robert. Uh, oh my God, why am I forgetting their last name? I've been out of this franchise for so long because I was so hurt by that final season that I like distanced myself. That's where my knowledge is just losing. And no, I know this character's name. It's the last name. You have Stannis Baratheon. Baratheon. Right. Robert Baratheon, King of Westeros when we start the show. And the books did a lot of awesome stuff. Was a badass warrior in his youth and has a great arc growing into this character. And is a great guy. I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Only around for one season, only around for one book, but makes such a lasting impression. Great acting. Uh, is a lovable guy. He has his faults, but that's what makes him interesting. And you can tell he's just this guy who did not want to be in the situation he was in. Ned was supposed to be king, and he knows that. Some of the best moments in the first season of the show, some of the funnier moments. All right, then we have Bran. Uh, I was never personally a big fan of Bran. I kind of always skimmed through his chapters and fast forwarded his parts in the show. Uh, I mean, when I was rereading, when I first read it, first watched it, I watched everything. But going back, I never wanted to see it again. It wasn't very interesting to me. I He ends up at king at the end, which is just dumb, and I hope they don't do that in the books. It doesn't work for me at all. I honestly have to put him in the C tier just because of how little I give a crap about him. He's so boring to me. He's so boring to me. But he does fact no, he doesn't even factor in that much. Like they misuse him completely in the last couple seasons. Barely factors in at all. Until he just becomes king. It's like, okay. Okay. What? I Nothing about him interests me. Sorry, Bran Lovers. Oh, Brienne of Tarth. I'm gonna put her right just because she's not a main character. Oh, but she kind of does become a main character, doesn't she? Oh, I think I'm gonna put her S tier. I'm gonna put her S tier. She's one of the more. She becomes kind of her own main character later on in the show and in the books. Yeah, S tier. I think she definitely deserves it. Super awesome character. Just a joy to watch. Amazing. Gwyneth Christie is just incredible as her. In the book, she's just as good. So awesome. Her relationship with Jamie is one of my favorites in the show. I never wanted them to be together, though. I did not want them to be together at all. That kind of ruins it for me in the show. The last season of the show sucks. I hate everything they do with that. We'll talk about Jamie when we get there, but other than that, if I interpret her crying as, oh, my friend's going back to a horrible woman, then I can be okay with it. Other than that, she has some of the best fight scenes in the whole show. One of the more interesting characters. I love characters of honor in this honorless world. So enduring and so compelling to watch. So awesome. S tier. I think she definitely deserves it. Braun. In the books, he's not around much, but in the show, he does a lot. I'm gonna drop him in the A tier, just because of his work on the show. So much fun. He's so funny. Easily one of the funniest characters in the entire show. In the books, he's just as funny. He's just not around as much. In the books, he actually has a bastard son and names him Tyrion after Tyrion kills his father and leaves, which is just hilarious. I love Bronn so much. I'm happy where his character ended up actually being the master of coin. Just fun and what a cool guy. I love Bronn. Bronn's great. And then we have Catelyn Tully slash Catelyn Stark. I I kind of hate Catelyn. I kind of really hate Catelyn. I think I'm gonna put her in the C tier. I can't put her in the D tier. Doesn't mean it's fair to her to put her in the D tier, but I really never liked Catelyn at all. She was so horrible to Jon. But I get it. She thinks her husband is, cheated on her with them, and I sort of get it. I do get it. But don't take that out on Jon. Just it's so horrible to him and does really stupid bonehead things. I didn't care when she died. I don't care about when she comes back to life in the books as Lady Stoneheart. I'm happy they didn't do that in the show. I'm gonna drop her in the C tier. Never liked Catelyn. So then we have the best villain in the show. Period. She spent all that time building up to be the best villain. Cersei. Cersei's S plus as a villain. She is so compelling and interesting, and you end up on her side at certain times. You can flip flop it. She's just such an evil little piece of garbage, but something about her just makes her so good. Lena Headey's performance is incredible. She's so charming and the dialogue's entertaining to watch. Last season ruined it. I almost don't want to take into account the last season. I want to pretend it didn't happen, but I guess I have to. But despite all that, definitely S plus. The best villain on the show because they spent 8 seasons building up to her being that. They fumbled it, of course, but there's so much complexity with her. I love her. All right, then we have this guy. I recognize the face, but I just can't even remember who he is or what he does. Oh man, if you told me the name, I'd know. I cannot remember who that is or what he does. It looks like he's wearing Night's Watch armor, maybe. Really can't tell from the picture. So I'm going to have to drop him a don't even remember. I'm sorry. He might be the best character in the show. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Alright, then we have this guy whose name I can't remember because I never really cared about him or was a fan of him at all. I'm going to have to drop him in the D tier. I never, everyone's like, oh, he's so charming. I never got it. I know exactly who he is. I can't even think of his name. But because I just don't care. I never cared. And I don't like Daenerys that much either. Oh, who is next up? So I never cared about her love interest, never really cared about what's going on in SO, so it wasn't ever interesting to me. Not why I read the books, not why I watched the show. Daenerys, I'm gonna have to put her. Her character arc's completely ruined by the end, but I always called it. I always called from years. I've said she'll be the Mad Queen. Everyone called me crazy. I'm happy she became the Mad Queen. I think that's a great arc, but they did it so horribly and so poorly that I'm gonna have to drop her. But she's really important. I don't like her though. I don't like her or the things she does. I'm dropping her in the D tier. I know what? I'm gonna go all in on my biases. I don't care. I don't like her. I don't like her at all. I just don't like Daenerys. I never did. Emilia Clarke does a fine job. Nothing wrong with that. But her whole arc, she's just a crazy. I like her being Mad Queen, but they didn't do it properly, and so that's why I have to keep her in the D. If they did the Mad Queen thing properly, S plus, literally, because that would have made it like, oh, the reason I haven't liked her the entire time is because she's a freaking crazy piece of garbage who slaughters people. But I have to drop her in D tier. Sorry, I'm so sorry. That's gonna be a controversial one. All right, then we have Davos Seaworth, one of my personal favorite characters. I'm gonna have to drop him in the S tier. You know what? He actually does get POV chapters, so maybe S plus. He is so. He's like Brienne, where he's just. I almost want to put Brienne in S plus too. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to put him in S because they aren't quite up there. But No, if I'm looking at my personal bias, nah, man, nah. That's what I kind of want to do. Those are my two of my favorite characters. Davos Seaworth is so freaking awesome. Uh, so honor in an honorless world. I love the lawful good nature of things. Him supporting Stannis because that is his king. That's what he'll do. I love the way he talks. I love how he's so loyal to Stannis and how he loves Stannis' daughter so much. And I love his story of the being the Onion Knight and all the complexities that come with that, losing his fingers and yeah, acted so brilliantly. One of my favorite characters. I loved his chapters so much starting in the second book. My favorites to read. There are points where I just skip to the next Davos chapter because he's such a great, interesting character. So intelligent and so witty, and he's not the best fighter, but it's okay because he gets by with what he's got, and he embraces that. And I love that he supports Jon as the king, and his relationship with all the characters. So much fun to watch on screen. S plus easily. And I moved Brienne up because I realized I love Brienne, and I moved Arya down because personally I just never was the biggest fan. I mean, I was a huge fan, but I wasn't all about it. These are the best characters, the ones that I watched the show for. Period. All right, then we have Samwell Tarly's brother, whose name I can't remember, but I do remember who it is though. So, I mean, I'm gonna put him, you know, down here in the D tier just because okay, I'll move Daenerys up to the C tier. I'll put him down in the D tier just because I don't remember. He didn't make much of an impact at all. I did like him in that I think seventh season. I actually did like him. Um, I know Sam did like him also, but didn't really do much. Gonna have to drop him down in the D tier. All right, then we have this guy who in the books does a lot more, but in the show really doesn't. So I'm going to put him in the D tier just because of how bad he is in the show. In the books, he's really awesome. He has that fire and blood plot going on. All the stuff in Dorne is so much better in the books. I think this is Dorian Martell. Uh, but just because of the show completely fumbling it and doing absolutely nothing with him and just killing him, it drops into the D tier. If it was just the books, he'd be up in the A tier. Or no, B tier. B tier, but because of the show, if I'm factoring in both, D tier. Because really in the show he's F tier, but D tier because of the books. All right, then we have one of the dragons. I think this one is Drogon. Honestly, I don't know what to do with the dragons because they're not characters. They're I just don't know what to do with these guys. Like okay, they have they have a bit of character, but not. I mean, they're super awesome and amazing, and they look super cool and are very important. So I guess I'll just put them right next to their mom at Daenerys. When we get to the next dragon, there's one right there. I'll just drop them right next to Daenerys, I guess. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Then we have Jason Momoa, the king. We have Khal Drogo, who is easily a B tier character. Such a freaking awesome warrior. I love his look. I love everything about him. I love how Daenerys grows to love him. Daenerys in season one is a S plus character, honestly. But just everything else about her makes me drop her to C. But Khal Drogo's so freaking awesome, and I love everything about him. He's so freaking cool. Nothing much to say about it. He's only around for one season, but made such a big impact. It's got to be B tier. All right, next, then we have Adrian Neville right here. If you guys are a fan of wrestling, then you'll get that one. But no, this is this. Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? This hurts that I'm forgetting his name because I actually really like him. He's not F tier. He's not F tier. Probably would be B tier. Well, he doesn't do much, so probably C tier just because he doesn't do much. Oh my God, why am I not get is Delaris? Yeah. Game of Thrones. I'm googling it. Sorry. Delaris Ed, right? Delaris. Yeah, Delaris Ed. Right, Ed. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. Just one of John's friends, and great all around. His death actually really hit me. I really was upset when he died. Didn't do much. Was kind of there for comic relief. I love all of the jokes he makes. He's very funny, very witty, but doesn't make enough of an impact to me put him any higher. But I do really like this character. I'm gonna put him actually up here next to Benjen. So then we have the man who thought he could be king. Um, it's one of the Tullys. Why can't I forget? Guys, I'm so sorry. I've been out of this franchise for so long. Um, I'm really Game of Thrones. Tully. What was his name? Edmure. That's right. I was thinking Edwin. Edmure Tully, who actually makes it to the end, which is like a big. This freaking idiot made it to the end. Oh my god. Um, just a complete dullard, but kind of likable in some ways. So funny when he tries to become king at the end. Ugh. I'm going to put him in C tier, I guess. Doesn't. I don't even know what to say about him. C tier. Alright, then we have this F tier. I hate the sand snakes. Ruined the Dorn plot. One of the most boring characters. Just annoying to watch. I don't want him on my screen. F is like, get off my screen. And that's how I feel about that character. Nothing more to even say. Alright, so then we have the Greyjoy. This is who is he? He's Theon's uncle. Oh my god. Theon, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Who's the freaking There's Euron. Euron Greyjoy. He's a great villain, but kind of just becomes a joke pirate kind of thing. I'm gonna put him in the I don't know where to put him. In the books, the mystique around is much cooler, but in the show, not a great villain. Just kind of an, not a great villain. I'll put him in the D tier down here. I wasn't really compelled by him. I mean, he was very charming, but in a kind of yeah, we get it kind of way. Like I just didn't. Not a fan. The man. Um, right. So then we have Gendry Baratheon, Robert's bastard son. I'm gonna put him firmly in the A tier, right next to those other really cool characters that you know were there and did really great, but never. They were always super fun to watch, and I was a fan of, but never made a huge impact. But Gendry is one of my favorite characters, absolutely. Such a great arc and story he has going for him, and so fun and just entertaining and great to watch. And I really like him becoming head of House Baratheon at the end. I'm a big fan of Gendry. So then we have Ghost. Ghost is S plus. I can't put the dog anywhere else. I love Ghost. This whole thing. I love dogs. I love my dog. If my dog was white, I'd name him Ghost. Ghost is incredible. Always there for Jon. Jon's best friend. Thank God for Ghost. Thank God for Ghost. All right, so then we have this chick, Sam's beloved, basically. This woman he falls in love with, daughter of Craster. I never really cared. I have to just drop her in the D tier. I liked her. I did like her, but I'll put her at the top of D tier. But I can't think of her name. So it's got to put her in the D tier. I really like Sam. I really like what she does for Sam, but she's always just felt to me there. She was there to bump up Sam. Gilly, that's her name, right? Gilly, yeah. Um, I felt like she was always just there to elevate Sam and give him something to do, but never really was a character of her own. I did like her though. I wasn't offended by her at all. Um, I think she's great. She's great. But nothing super special about her. Then we have the Mountain, who I'm gonna put up here as a villain. Such a great villain. I'm gonna have to put him probably in the A tier of villains, because I just wanted the Hound to kill him so badly, so freaking awesome. Just the brutal death of the brutal death of uh, there's so many freaking characters and so many character names to think of. Martel. Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry. It's midnight when I'm filming this. How can I? Who does he kill? Oberon. I was thinking of. I got Doran in my head. Oberon. Oh, brutal death of Oberon Martel. Such a shocking moment. Great villain. Just because he's just a mean, horrible son of a bitch. You can't wait for the Hound to kill. And that was one of the only parts of the finale I liked, was that standoff between the two of them. I thought that was so cool. Great villain. All right, so then we have another one of John's pals. I can't remember his name, but I'm going to put him right next to Ed. Where did I put Ed at? Ed up here. I'm putting him right next to Ed. Just really great to have around. I thought he had a really nice death, really memorable death, really, really nice character. Greatest pal for John. So I'm not sure which dog this is. I think this is Summer. I know Nymeria is in here somewhere. I saw a second ago. Another dog there. I think that's Nymeria. So I think this is Summer. But that's Shaggy Dog. I feel like that's Shaggy Dog, and Summer is somewhere else. Yeah, because I think this is Summer. So I think this is Shaggy Dog. I mean, never makes a carrot. Never. I can't put the dog anywhere. I can't put the dog in F tier, but never does anything. That's the doubt. That's the dog that's there. It's like, oh, Shaggy Dog. Gets mentioned in the books. Cool. Alright, then we have Grey Worm. Uh, 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 D tier. I I never really cared about Grey Worm or the Unsullied or any of that stuff going on. I really don't care about Essos. D tier. I mean, I did like his love. I did like his love thing with Masandi going on. Masandi's a nice character. I like Masandi a lot, but eh. This son of a bitch. All right, so we got this guy, the head of that crazy religious church. He's a great villain, so I'm probably gonna put him in the B tier. But he was also one of those villains that was just like, screw this guy, but not in a good enough way that was compelling. He didn't really. I guess he. Yeah, I think B tier is a nice place for him. Hodor. Oh my god, that was heartbreaking death. I can't put him anywhere higher than the B tier. I mean, I gotta be, but heartbreaking death. You know what? Actually, I'll put him in the B tier. Heartbreaking death. Such a lovable, great character. I love how they set up his name was tied in. His name from the very beginning tied into his death of holding the door. Heartbreaking death. Heart wrenching. So much fun and lovable, but I have to put him in B tier just because it's like, okay, it's Hodor, but great death. So lovable. If you look at what he actually like did, he was there for Bran, so I'd have to put him in C tier, but I'll put him in B tier just because of how lovable he is. I love Hodor. Jamie, this is heartbreaking. Not to put Jamie in the S plus tier, but I might have to put him in the S tier just because of how they butchered his character in the final season. No, I'm putting him in S plus because you can. I've learned to even look at that from a certain perspective and be okay with it. But Jamie, I love Jamie so much. He's my favorite character of all time. Before the final season, he was my favorite character of anything. Period. I think he's so compelling, so interesting, so complex. I love we talked about it with Bears and the Bold. I love like the idea of like the swordsman and him losing his hand and the arc he went through. I mean, God, I loved his POV. Just one of the best written characters in all of fiction. I can I can make myself be okay with his season 8 arc going back to Cersei and dying there. I can make myself be okay with it. I would have loved if that didn't happen, but I've written a much better ending for it. I'll have to find that and do something with it, but I hate that they did that. But Jamie, I named my D&D character after him, Jamie Summerborn. Like I just love Jamie so much, so well acted. He meant a lot to me as a character. He really did because I've been in really crappy relationships, and to see him escape from his crappy relationship, it was like this character I latched onto, but then he went back to it. But like I said, I can kind of write that and be okay with it, you know. But everything else about him, I gotta put an S plus. Hate that last season, but S plus. Such an awesome character. Honorable man. It just brings up the best questions. I was about to move on to this guy, but I just brings up the best questions of honor and what it all means, and it's all bullshit. Like, what does it even mean? He's just a guy doing his best and was not appreciated for doing his best, and so he said, "Screw it, fine." And it took Brienne bringing him back to that side of like, even if people don't see you're doing your best and aren't appreciating you, you still do it because it's the right thing to do. He always did what he thought was right, and if you look at it, he always did what he thought was right. I love Jamie so much, such a complex character. Then we have this guy whose name I don't remember. Janos. It was Janos Slint. Uh, I mean, I don't care. I'm gonna throw up an F tier just because I need more an F tier. I feel like, but his execution was great. That was a lot of fun. But he was just annoying. Oh, when Tyrion said to him, "It's like I'm not questioning your honor. I'm just denying its existence." Like that's so funny. I love seeing his head chopped off, but just annoying and frustrating to have on screen. So I'm gonna have to put him in the F tier. Screw that character. All right, then we have uh this guy, uh Jack and Hagar. Oh, I guess I'm going to put him in the B tier. No, he doesn't do a whole lot, so I'm going to have to put him in the C tier. Um, they set up a lot that they could really delve into, but then they never touched on it again. They just like dropped all that kind of stuff going into the final season. But really cool. I can't think of the name of the assassins right now, but still a really cool character, really cool concept. Then we have uh Mormont. Not Jorah Mormont. That is who he's the head of the Night's Watch. Uh, God dang, it is. You have Jorah Mormont. What's his name? Jeor Mormont. I was thinking Giora, but there's Jor, so it's Jeor Mormont, Jorah's father. Great complex. No, I'm gonna put him up here in the A tier. What a great mentor to Jon. Head of the Night's Watch. Heartbreaking death. I really hated his death. It sucked, but in a good way. Like man, I hated that he died. But great relationship with with Jorah and him telling Sam that like oh he wants them to find Jorah and tell him to take the Night's Watch and just like all that great stuff. And what a great character. Gives Jon uh uh oh my god, what's Jon's sword's name? What the hell is wrong with me? I This is the first time I've thought about this franchise in months. Long Claw. I'm thinking Bear Claw, but it's Long Claw. This is the first time I thought about this franchise in months, so my brain is fried on it. But I just love that he gives him Long Claw. Just a great character. All right, then we have Joffrey, who I'm gonna have to put in the S tier, just being one of the worst villains, just like his mother. Just so hateable that you love to see him die. Great acting, great portrayal. Screw Joffrey. All right, and this guy, Jijin, Jinjin, something like that. I just have to put him in the C tier. He was okay. I don't really care much for him. Don't remember much. John S plus, of course. my boy, obviously the main character of the whole. I think it's fair to say he's the main character of the whole thing. Um, didn't like the whole final season stuff, but he always stayed pretty true to his character. What a chief, what a champ. Thank God for John. Right next, I'm gonna put him. I gotta put him right next to Ghost. So then, put Jane at the top here. Then we have Jorah Mormont. I'm gonna put in the S tier. One of my favorite characters throughout the entire show. So complex and you know, during the books, his whole love with Daenerys is a bit more creepy than it is in the show. I feel like, but still, I think he's a great character. His loyalty to Daenerys is amazing. His death protecting her, what a great way to go out. What a perfect way to go out. I kind of wish he would have made it to the end, but it's okay. I really love Jorah Mormont. One of my favorites of the entire show. Okay, I had to take a little break there, but now I'm back and I'm at a different location, so if I sound different, that's why. But it's been a little bit and I had some time to think about some of these character names that I was completely slipping out of, and I remember this guy. This is Craster, who I forgot last time, so I'm gonna drop him though in the F tier. I mean, whatever. Who cares about Craster, even though I remember him. So next up we have, I think his name was Jory. He was Ned's most trusted guard, and he wasn't really much of a character, so I'm just gonna have to drop him in the D tier. I think I'm gonna move Grey Worm to the C tier. I'm gonna drop him in the D tier. I did like him, but he was around for like half of a season. Nothing more to say about him, really. This lady, uh, don't remember who this is. So I'm gonna put her in there. Maybe it'll come back to me. Alright, then I think this is Nymeria, or this is Summer. No, I think this is Nymeria. So this is probably Summer. Where did I put Shaggy Dog? I think I put Shaggy Dog. Am I just not seeing him now? Where's Shaggy Dog? Oh, right there. I put Shaggy Dog in the D tier. I think I'm going to put Summer right next to Brand in the C tier. I mean, Dog's are amazing, Summer's amazing, but it ain't no Ghost. But I still like Summer. This guy. I think his name was Lionel Lannister. He was Cersei and Tyrion's cousin, son of Kevin, and made a big impact coming back later in the seasons. It's like this guy. By the way, this is the High Sparrow. I forgot his name last time. The High Sparrow. So this is one of the worshippers or followers of the High Sparrow. I mean, I guess I'll put him in. I think I'm going to put him in D tier. He was just kind of an annoying character. Happy to see him die. So, alright, then we have, I'm going to count this as every Children of the Forest and say C tier right next to Bran. See, the thing is, they should have made a really big difference and been a big deal, and they probably will be in the books, but at least in the show, they were completely wasted and ended up making no real difference in anything happening, which is why I'm going to have to put them right there in the C tier. Alright, so then we have Little Sam right here. I guess I'll put him right next to Gilly in the D tier. Just a baby. It's just a baby, man. Where's actual Sam? There's Randall Tarley, so Sam should be. I just want to make sure Sam is actually in this tier list, because this tier list is completely, like, void without my boy Sam. There he is. Okay, we'll get to him in a bit. I thought it was in alphabetical order, but maybe not fully. Then we have Peter Baelish, Littlefinger. He made a huge impact throughout the show. In the books, he's top tier, but based on the show and how stupid he was in the last couple seasons, gonna have to put him in the B tier. He should be higher, but just the last season of the show just ruined his character. But the whole time, super compelling. One of the smartest men in Westeros. One of my absolute favorites, especially in the books. And the books, his plan is so much better. I don't have time to go into it here because it's so complex, that in a good way. It's really good. Okay, then we have Danny Rand here. Um, I'm forgetting this guy's name. He was the Knight of Flowers, Renly's lover. Tyrell. He was a Tyrell. I don't remember his first name. I guess I'm gonna put him in the books. He has a bit more of a role to play. As you know, in the show, he has more of a role to play. I don't like the actor that much. The character's okay. I don't really care for him, so I'm probably gonna drop him in the D tier. Just nothing really more to say about him, but I do love good swordsmen, so that's fun. Oh, Lyanna Mormont is definitely an A tier character, even though she doesn't do more, and I wish she had a bigger impact. But oh my god, every time she was on screen, just absolutely took over everything. What an incredible character, an incredible actress. Great job, the best child actress on the show, and so fierce and awesome, and everything a Northerner should be. And his rallies and had a great death. Really sad to see her go, but that was awesome, Lyanna Mormont. So this is Lyanna Stark, Ned's sister. Um, she's a big deal, and she's actually a really cool character in the books. We never meet her obviously because she's dead by the time the show starts, but she's Jon's mother, and ran off with Rhaegar, which is such an interesting story and mystery throughout the whole show. I almost want to put her in S tier because in the books you hear about her exploits and how freaking awesome she was actually whenever she was alive. She was really close with Benjen. I'll drop her in the A tier just because we never see her, but just of her impact on the show, not even being there, being the mother of Jon and setting everything into action, and just how awesome she was apparently when she was alive. I mean, everybody loved her. Lyanna's named after her because they just loved her so much. She was, fierce. She's like Arya. She's compared to everyone said like Arya's just like Lyanna. So, but just because she wasn't in the show, she'll have to stay in the A tier. All right, then we have this is Lysa Tully slash Aaron. Um, I think I'm gonna drop her in the F tier because she was just. I mean, the actress did a great job and the character played his role perfectly. But I think the character is meant to be an F tier kind of character who you just are supposed to hate. So yeah, F tier, just a crazy, crazy, crazy bitch. But it was really fun to watch her die. Then we have this absolute buffoon, Mace Tyrell, who's gonna go in the F tier. Just a complete idiot the entire show. Gets bullied and picked on by the Lannisters the whole time, and is completely oblivious to it. Just a fool. What an idiot. F tier. So the F tier, like with these two characters right here, are just like I hate them and I don't want to see them on my screen. These ones, it's like okay, they were obviously meant to be these F tier hateable characters, but then you have someone like Joffrey, who he was so hateable, but I'm gonna drop to the B tier because I was thinking about it. I don't want to put him above these guys. So, but such a great villain that he has to go higher, but it's not like they ever reached that. But yeah, F tier. Aemon Targaryen is gonna he's incredible, so lovable, and such a good impact on Jon. Just one of my absolute favorites. Um, I'm gonna drop him in the A tier also. Uh, one of the last living Targaryens that doesn't get talked about much. He's a Targaryen. Aemon Targaryen, and I love the Dunk and Egg series, and Aegon always talks about his older brother Aemon, and what an interesting story, how he could have been king, but he became a maester to go up to the Night's Watch. He was sent there as a joke, basically, but ended up being one of the most respected members of the Night's Watch, and had a big impact on Jon, and especially Sam. So, A tier, love Aemon. Then we have, is it Mance Rider. We have Mance Rider, the king beyond the wall, leads the wildlings, has a big impact on the story for the first half of the story, and is a really cool, interesting character. I think I'm gonna drop him in the B tier because I just can't. This is sort of how I feel about him. Still a really cool character though. Marjorie Tyrell, one of my personal favorites, but I'm not sure where to put her, A or B. I think she's a great character. I think I'm going to put her in the A tier. I really enjoyed her character a lot. Then we have, I know exactly who she is, but I can't remember her name. Helps Bran a lot. I really liked her a lot. I'm going to put her in the B tier. I thought she was really cool and really heartbreaking at the last season when Bran just like gave no craps about her, and I really liked that character. I wish we would have seen more of her. You know, I really liked her. Then we have Melisandre, one of the most important characters in the show, who I'm gonna have to put probably. She's really hateable, but her importance and her powers and what she does, and her complexities, and leading Stannis to kill his daughter, though, that kind of like pushes him down for me. I'm not quite sure where to put her. B tier. I think I'm gonna put her at the bottom of B tier. And then Missandei. I really like Missandei. I'm gonna put her at the bottom of B. No, I'll put her at the top of C tier. As you can, I have a bias. I don't like all the SS stuff, but I did like Missandei a lot. Then we have the second daughter of Cersei and Jaime. There are just so many names to keep track of. I'm sorry, people, that I can't remember her name. I remember Tommen, Joffrey, and I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. She didn't do much, wasn't around at all, so I'm just gonna have to put her in the D tier because she really never did anything except die. Ned Stark, obviously S plus tier. Such an incredible character. His death was so shocking and heartbreaking in the book and in the show. Just blew my mind when it happened, and still like one of the most honorable characters, and I love that. Honor is flawed, but he always does his best, and I love Ned Stark. Ned Stark's awesome. Everybody loves Ned. The Night King. Well, he should be higher, but he was just absolutely freaking destroyed in that last season. So I think I'm going to have to put him in the F tier because of how much of a joke he turned out to be. Could change in the books. I hope it changes in the books. But based on like that joke of the show where his whole thing meant nothing and Arya just killed him, like he's going to have to go in the F tier. And then we have Nymeria, who I guess I'm going to have to put right next to Summer. You know, this guy's name is Grin. This guy's name is Grin. There's so many names I start forgetting them. I'm so sorry. This is Grin. But anyway, I'm going to put him right there. I like Nymeria. I like the dogs, but you know, never did much, and I wish they did more. Then we have Oberyn Martell, who was brilliantly portrayed by Pedro Pascal. What an amazing character. So awesome, so charming. Just one of my favorites. His death is so shocking and horrid, and I'm going to put him in the S tier. So freaking cool. It just made you fall in love with the character, then took it away from you. I'd love to see a spinoff show just about him. Alright, then we have the grandmother Tyrell, whose name I can't remember. I'm so sorry. The Queen of Thorns, I know is her name. I just can't remember her first name. She was Tyrell. Here, I'll look up what her first name is. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I know she's awesome. I put her in the top 8 here. Olenna Tyrell. One of the best players of the game, is the one who killed Joffrey and comes out in that awesome scene. Like, tell her I want her to know it was me. So witty and charming and just a badass lady. Easily the best Tyrell, and at the top of A tier. Right, then we have this little fucker. I'm gonna put him in the F tier. Jon trusted him, and he betrayed Jon. It's unforgivable. Screw that kid. F tier. Right, then we have Osha, who I'm gonna put in the C tier. I really did like her a lot. She was really cool, and her loyalty to Bran was awesome, and her trying to kill Ramsay was really great. And a really sad death when she had to go. I did like her a lot, but I'll put her at the top of C tier. I did like her a lot. Oh my god. Without a doubt, Podrick Payne has to go in the S tier. One of my absolute favorite. Oh my god, S tier, S plus, S plus. One of my absolute favorite characters. So freaking awesome. So loyal to Tyrion that it makes me cry. Like he's one of I love acts of loyalty, and Podrick Payne is full of those. His loyalty to Brienne, to Tyrion is just incredible. So freaking awesome. I love seeing his development over all 8 seasons, and can't wait to see more of him in the books. I love Podrick Payne. Love Podrick Payne so much. S plus, man. Alright, then we have this freaking guy. F tier. Screw this guy. This Grand Maester Pycelle piece of crap. Screw that guy. What a joke. I was so happy when he died. He's not a joke, though, because there's the deleted scene where he talks to Tywin and reveals that actually he's, like, faking all this being an idiot thing. And God, I can't justify putting him anywhere else except F tier. I was so happy to see him go. Alright, then we have this guy, another one of Jon's friends, who I'm going to put right next to Glenn. I can't think of his name. Sorry, I know exactly who he is. I remember this is Grin. Excuse me, this will come back to me in a moment, but I'm going to drop him in the C tier. Really cool characters, but nothing special. Then we have Half Hand here, the Half Hand, who Jon has to kill to prove his loyalty to the wildlings. What a really cool character. I really liked him a lot, and he's just such a badass, but wasn't around for much, so don't know if I can put him in B tier. Gonna have to put him at the top of C tier, I think. Really cool character. Then we have this guy, whose name I can't remember either, sorry, but great player of the game, but is despicable. See, he made a big impact towards the end, more than he ever thought he would. Became Cersei's hand, and but for that I want to put him higher, but I kind of want to keep him low just because of how hateable he is. But so interesting, creates the mountain. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in D tier because there's nothing. I don't care much for him, you know. I'm gonna move Mountain down to B tier. He's a really great character, but I don't think he deserves to be an A tier. That just doesn't feel right to me. Ramsay Bolton, though, of course he's despicable, so I want to put him in the F tier. But such a great villain that I'm gonna have to put him right next to Joffrey in the B tier. I think that's a great space for him. Where yes, you want to hate him, but incredible villain. So he's going to go in the B tier. One of the most despicable men. Alright, then we have this guy, Randall Tarley, who is just a piece of garbage, treats Sam horribly, is an idiot, can't stand him, goes in the F tier. What a piece of crap. This guy was not around for very long at all. Ian McShane, I can remember the actor, I can't remember his name. Wasn't around for very long at all. So, but he was, I did like him. I think he was on for like an episode though. But he did help the Hound. So I'm gonna put him in D tier and not F tier, just because he helped the Hound. But like he was around for like an episode. I can't put him any higher than that. Then we have Renly Baratheon, who would have obviously been at the start of this the best king. Kind of makes me mad because he had no right to become king, but he would have been the best king. And so I think I'm going to have to put him in the B tier because I just loved him so much. He's such a great character. I love reading about him. I love watching him on screen. So lovable. Would have been the best king for sure. And then we have Rhaegar Targaryen, who I guess I'll have to put right up there with Lyanna. Because he is obviously extremely important, but we never saw him in the show or book, so I can't justify putting it any higher. But what we know about him is really awesome. Of course, I mean, started the whole thing, fell in love with Lyanna. They ran away together, started the whole war. Is Jon's father. But because we never saw him, I can't really put him any higher. So I'm going to keep him in the A tier. Oh, man. Then we have Rickon. This is Rickon, right? Yeah. That's his name, right? Rickon. There's Because yeah, there's Rob, John, Arya, Sansa, Bran, and Rickon, yeah. Um, Rickon Stark never does much. They put him in the C tier. Um, he's a Stark. Shame to see him go, but never does much in the show at all except die. So, but he is a Stark, so C tier. Rob Stark is easily A tier. Can't put him in the S plus tier, but just because he wasn't around for long enough for that. Well, Ned was only around for a season, but you know what I mean. He, he was my favorite character for a bit in the show and in the books before he died at the Red Wedding. One of the most shocking, saddest deaths to see him go. I loved Rob a lot. I thought he was a really interesting, awesome character who was just doing his best in a crappy situation. Was a great follow up to Ned Stark and was someone who you like see taking on the mantle. I really loved Rob Stark a lot. I think he deserves F tier. All right, then we have uh, Rob and Aaron, or I think he just Rob Aaron in the books, but in the show they call him Robin. I'm a it's either D or F. I put his mom in F tier, so I'll put him right next to his mom in the F tier. Don't care much for him at all, but he is just a kid. But he's a weird little kid, isn't he? But yeah, but he's a whiny little brat to Sansa, and but he was a kid, and it's because he was raised. But I don't know, F tier. I don't know. This guy in the books, he's really awesome. Like in the books, I think they described that he was fighting Rob and Ned at one time with like two swords in his hand when they were sparring. So because of that, I'll put him in the D tier just because of how cool he is in the books. But in the show, he's just, Robin Slacky. But it is really cool. I can't think of his name, though. I'm so sorry. There are too many names to keep track of, people. I'm doing my best. All right, then we have this guy who... I know the face. Why can't I remember who he is? Why can I not remember who he is? What the hell? Oh, he's Ramsay's father. He's a Bolton. That's right. He's the Bolt. That's who it is. Yeah, it's Ramsay's father. He's the Bolton. What an asshole. But it's a great villain, so I guess I'll have to put him up here at the top of D tier. Um, it is really just menacing and horrible, and ugh, makes my skin crawl thinking about him. So maybe C tier just because of that. I think C tier for being a great villain there. Um, and he betrays Rob. Oh yeah, that awesome scene. He's the one who kills Rob actually. Well, he strikes the first blow to Rob. I'm pretty sure. Um, oh my God, why can I not think of his name? It's something Bolton. I'm looking it up. There's too many names, people. I'm sorry. I love this book. I've read them all. Too many names and too many people to keep track of. Roose, that's right, Roose Bolton. What a piece of crap. C tier for him. Samwell Tarly is my absolute favorite character, going in the S plus tier. The whole show, that's my guy. That's the guy I follow. Sam's easily my favorite character. Is lovable and is always doing his best and is helpful in his own way and is so loyal to John. So loyal to John that I love him very much. Samwell Tarly, thank God for Samwell Tarly. Then we have the Sand Snakes down here, who I'm going to put right next to their mom in the F tier. I hated that whole story. I hated those characters. Was so happy to see them die. The Hound is S plus, easily S plus. One of my favorite characters in the entire show and book. I would watch if the show was just about him and his story. I would have watched it. His redemption, his complexities, his love for Sansa and for Arya, and oh my God, him and Arya together, just the greatest combo. God, I love the Hound. I love him very much. There's Gregor Clegane is the mountain, and that's Sandor Clegane. Sandor Clegane, great character. Sansa, I'm gonna put in the S tier right next to Arya. I know Arya probably deserves to be an S plus, but personally, just wasn't never latched onto the way other people did. Sansa, I hated her at first, but she grows so amazingly and becomes one of my absolute favorite characters. And one of the few characters whose character was not ruined completely by the last couple of seasons. Sophie Turner, I've said it on other videos, is my dream goddess. Thank God for Sophie Turner. So, one of my favorite characters. Can't quite put her in the S plus, but I love seeing her growth and development and following her in both the books and the show. Both of them do it so well. In the books, it's better because Littlefinger's plan is better, but I'm not going to let that hold her back from the S tier. Great character. Alright, then we have, I believe this is Stannis' wife, who I'm going to drop in the F tier. What a complete piece of crap, letting her daughter die like that and hanging herself after because she felt so bad. Screw you, you treated your daughter like crap. Became that religious fanatic that I just can't stand. Gotta go in the F tier. Oh, and then we have Shay, who betrayed Tyrion. That bitch, I'm putting her in the F tier. Screw her. Screw her. And then, who is that? I just realized, is this Shaggy Dog? And one of these up here is Greywind? I think this is Greywind, and this is... Or maybe this is Greywind. I'm gonna look up a picture of which one is Greywind. That one up there is Grey. I think so. Greywind. Yeah, okay, this is Greywind. Oh yeah, freak yeah, Greywind's awesome. I'm putting it up here with Nymeria. I think this is Shaggy Dog. I'm gonna put in the D tier right now. Ooh, I'm gonna put um in the D tier where Rickon belongs to go. He deserves to go in the D tier. He never did much, but now these two dogs, Summer and Greywind, are gonna go up here. Awesome, awesome little pups. Then we have the lovable Stannis' daughter, whose name I can't remember personally, sorry, but I liked her a lot, so lovable. Meant so much to Davos, and her death was truly heartbreaking. She deserved so much more and was always so kind, and just a beautiful little spot of light in that horrible world, so I'm going to put her in the B tier. I would love to put her higher, but didn't make enough of an impact on the show, but B tier. Stannis, one of the most complex characters in the entire show. A complete badass, but also a complete jackass, so it's kind of hard to balance. I'm going to put him in the B tier as well. He was super important to the show, super important, but I can't put him any higher. I can't feel to put him any higher. People love Stannis, but he just a despicable, but also like understandable. It's so hard to balance how I feel about Stannis. Wait a minute, is this Summer or is that maybe this is Sansa's dog? I don't know, man. The dog. I'll put it I'll put it here. I don't remember. Maybe that's Summer. Maybe that's not Summer. Maybe that's Summer. Maybe that's Summer, and that this is This was Sansa's dog. I'll Google what Summer looks like. Okay, yeah. This is Summer. I'm gonna put right there, and this is Sansa's dog, who I'll put right there, who wasn't around for very long, so I can't justify putting her any higher. I think that's all the dogs that I can go through, thank God. Alright, then we have Rob's wife, Jane. I think in the book she's Westerling. Jane Westerling is the wife. I don't remember her name in the show. So, I mean, I never really cared much for her. I'm gonna put her in the D tier. I have really nothing to say about her. Theon Greyjoy, one of my favorite characters. I'm gonna put in the S tier because of his arc. He did some really horrible things, but he also endured some really horrible things. And his redemption is one of the best character arcs in the entire show. I love seeing him go through that, and I love that he gets that redemption at the end. And he did some horrible things, but Sansa loves him. I mean, he helped Sansa escape, and what a complex, interesting character and story arc to go on. And I loved how it ended, and I love Theon. Theon's an amazing character, acted so perfectly in both the books and the show. Just an amazing character. And then we have Thoros of Myr. So weird. I can remember some of these names and some of them I can't. throw some here. It's really, really awesome. I'm gonna have to put him in the A tier right next to Beric Dondarrion. He's the one who brings Beric back. He's this drunk, messed up priest. I mean, he's the ultimate cleric. He's the ultimate cleric, you know. Um, what a fun character. And like, the top knot isn't fooling anybody. You bald, blah blah blah. What the Hound called him. Um, Great character, Thorsimir. And then we have Tommen, who I'm putting in the F tier for being a complete freaking idiot and trusting the High Sparrow like he did. Tommen was such a bad king. Now, Tommen could have been a good king. He could have been the best king. Tommen was a good man. Well, he was going to be. He's a boy. Nothing like his brother. But he made you miss his brother because you know that if Joffrey was around and the High Sparrow was around, Joffrey would have ended that stuff like that. No BS. None of that. So that is why I'm going to have to put Tommen in the F tier for just being such a freaking idiot with all the High Sparrow stuff. Oh man, then we have a Giant's Bane. What was his first name? What was his first name? He's at least top of A tier. What was his first name? Tormund. I was thinking Tomos because my friend plays a character called Tomos. There's too many fancy names. Tormund Giant's Bane. One of my favorite characters. Oh my god, I'm putting him in the S tier. So great. In the end, John ends up going with him. The friendship they develop is so endearing and so awesome. So freaking cool. Love Tormund Giantsbane. What a great character. And then we have this guy who I think was this guy's son. Never did much, just kind of died like an idiot, so F tier. Whatever. Okay, then we have Tyrion Lannister, who I think it's no question at all. S plus tier. In fact, top of S plus. One of the best characters of the entire show. Peter Dinklage was incredible as Tyrion. I loved him in the books. He's so funny, so smart, so witty, so complex, so troubled and hurt and the things he has to deal with his family. He loves Jaime. The relationship between him and Jaime is the best in the entire series. Everybody loves Tyrion. He's the best character in the entire show, period. And I am happy where he ended up, being the Hand of the King. I think that's fine, but I still don't like really what they did with his characters in the last couple seasons. But hopefully in the book that'll be remedied. Then we have Tywin Lannister, who, what a despicable asshole, but such a great villain. It's so charming and complex and just tactical and smart and just, oh, you couldn't wait for him to die. I'll put him in the A tier. Because he was such a jerk to Tyrion that it makes me hate him. But he was such a great villain. And perfectly acted by Charles Dance. Amazing. A tier. And then we have Varys, who, where did I put Littlefinger? B tier. I'm putting Varys in the A tier. I really liked Varys throughout the entire show. At the end, he was really stupid. He got caught trying to kill Daenerys, but, you know, whatever. Other than that, though, in the books and in the show, he's such a great character. You never really know where his motivations lie, but I do believe him when he says whatever he does, he's doing for the good of the kingdom of the people. So, what a great, smart, amazing character that Varys is. I think this is supposed to be Visceron, the other dragon, who I'm going to put right here with the other dragons. Cool. He turned into a nice dragon at the end. Okay. Then we have this asshole, Daenerys' brother. Yeah, I mean, screw that guy. What more can I even say? Screw that guy. I love his death scene. Was incredible. He gets that pot of gold poured on his head. This entitled piece of garbage. Then we have the waif, who, as a villain, you never. It's not like you hear anything about her or anything like that. Like, you don't know anything about her, so I can't put her anywhere above F tier because she's just a person. She is just a nothing person for Arya to fight and then kill. And then we have this lady, Roos's fat wife. S plus, of course. I'm kidding. Yeah, I gotta put in the F tier. I mean, it's really sad her getting like ripped apart by dogs. That sucked. That was horrible. That was one of the most horrible things Ramsey did. But I mean, it's not like I care about her. All right, then we have Yara. Then we have Yara Greyjoy, or Asha. It's her name in the books. Easily right up there. Well, not quite up there with Theon. I'll put her at the top of A tier. What a freaking cool character. And her loyalty to her brother is really great. And she's obviously the person who should be leading the Ironborn. What a super cool character. I loved her. She was really cool. This one, I'm not sure where to put her because she was really great. Her love interest with John, but didn't last very long. But I'll put her in the A tier. I also can't think of her name. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. There's too many names, but I know exactly who she is. A wildling. John fell in love with her. Meant a lot to him. Her death was extremely sad. I think she was really cool, and I think A tier is a good spot for her. All right, next up we got Sir. I think his name was Sir Roderick. He was the Master at Arms in Winterfell. Really sad to see him go. Really sad to see him die. What a cool guy. Was always there for Bran and Rickon and Theon killing him, which is heartbreaking. And I want to say B, but I think I just gotta put him in. I'm pretty sure that's who that is, right? Oh wait, was this guy? No, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I'm getting these two confused. I feel like I'm getting those two confused. Let me look that up. Sorry. Sir Roderick was... Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I got these two confused. This is Sir Roderick. This is the guy in the veil. Okay. I'll put him in D tier then. Or no, I'll put him in F tier. D tier is a cool stuff in the books. Okay, this is Sir Roderick, who was killed by Theon. I'll put him in the C tier. Doesn't do much, but he was really likable and meant a lot to the Stark children, obviously. So I think it's a good spot for him. And then we have Hot Pie. I love Hot Pie. I'll put Hot Pie in the C tier. He doesn't do much, but what a fun little character. I love that we got to see Hot Pie at the end. All right, then we have this guy. Can't remember his name, but he's the one who rescues Arya from King's Landing whenever Ned dies. Wasn't around for much, but I'll put him in the C tier. I did think he was really cool. And then we have this piece of garbage here. The guy over the twins, Walder Frey. Yeah. What a piece of garbage. I'll put him in the D tier because he was a great villain, but so happy to see him die. And then this chick, this literal slut. I mean, whatever. Who cares? I'll drop her there. I'm realizing I don't think in this tier list there is the Maester at Winterfell. That was Maester. Who was that? Maester Lewin. Yeah, there's no Maester Lewin in this tier ranking. They left him out, so that sucks. But I mean, Maester Lewin would have been right up here with Aemon, probably in the A. He was one of my favorite characters, definitely. But wow, that is apparently every character, at least most of them in Game of Thrones. Still don't know who this is. If you know who this is, please let me know. I cannot remember for the life of me. But apparently it's almost every named character in Game of Thrones. I know the Daenerys one is going to be controversial because a lot of people love her. She's the main character of the show, but I just could not stand her. I hated her the entire time. Same thing for Catelyn and all the dragons. It's like whatever. Same thing for like Grey Worm. Never was a great fan. But when I'm looking at the S plus tier, I mean, I think they all deserve to be there. Podrick is kind of like the joke one, but I'm gonna keep him there. I really do love Podrick a lot. I almost want to put Jor in the S plus tier because I just really do love him that much. Arya is a great character. Arya and Sansa are really awesome throughout the entire show and series, but yeah, I think I'm gonna put I think I love Sansa, and I think I'm gonna put both of them in the S plus tier. There's a lot of great characters in the show. There are more good characters than there are bad characters. Most of the characters here would have been higher. I did like them all. They would have been higher if they had a bigger impact. Oh my god, this guy does not deserve to be in the C tier. Take him out of there. I don't know really what I would change here. I think I like my ranking. Alright, let me go what you guys think. This is a big thing to go through. I'm sorry I forgot some of the names. There are just so many names, but I really do love this series, and I love all of these characters very much. And I am very, at least when I'm looking at my S plus rating, I'm pretty proud of that. Cersei's an incredible villain, incredible character, the best villain in the whole show. Jaime's the most complex character in the entire show. Tyrion's the best character, period. Davos is great. Brienne is great. Ghost, Jon, Ned, Podrick, Sam, the Hound, Sansa, and Arya. I think that is a very solid S plus tier. Same for the S tier. I don't know who I'd move up to the 8, from A to S. I think this is a good solid 8 here. These are great characters themselves. I really do love Sir Barristan the Bold. I like that ranking. So now you know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my other tier list videos, and stay tuned for more of those that are coming.